Ian Sachs joined by David Laury, star senior forward on the Iona College men's basketball team. Dave, we are less than a week away from the MAAC tournament coming up this weekend, and you guys going into the tournament, the number 1 seed, 17-3 in the MAAC. And Dave, you guys entered the tournament as the number 1 seed last year, made it all the way to the championship, only to have your hearts broken by the Manhattan Jaspers. How much more motivation is there going in knowing that last year you were in a very similar position but couldn't seal the deal?
I mean, it's a ton of motivation if you think about it, because a lot of the guys on that team from last year still play here this year. So the guys should still feel that burn and that hurt of, not being able to grasp MAAC championship and NCAA tournament berth. So I mean, it's going to be a ton of motivation. We got a lot of motivation to prove that we're as good as, advertised, and that we actually earned this regular season championship. So we're going to go out there and, play with an edge and try to bring home that MAAC championship this year.
Dave, 2 years ago, you entered the tournament as the 4 seed, came away with the MAAC championship, upsetting the number 1 seed Niagara in the semifinals, and then defeating Manhattan in the championship. Do you see any similarities between that team and this team?
Not too many similarities between that team and this team. I will say that that team, just because we were the 4 seed, we really felt like we were the 1 seed simply because we lost 7 games that year, decided by about less than 14 points. So it's like we felt like we were supposed to win those games that we lost. We were a lot of times 1 play away, 1 possession away, 2 possessions away. And you know what I mean? So we felt like we were the 1 seed regardless. So I really don't think it matters about seeding that much, but I'm saying, like, if you're 1 through 6, that type of thing, because our league is so, it's well spread as far as talent is concerned. Great coaches, guys who could win on any given night. So the whole seeding thing is kind of up in the air. But I would like to say that we don't have that many similarities, and we don't really care what number we go into the tournament. We just want to win the tournament. It just so happened that we went number 1 because we played well throughout the season and we practiced our behinds off, and we earned a regular season championship.
Now, you mentioned all the close losses from 2 years ago down the stretch. This year, it seemed like you had the completely different result. Whenever there was a close game, you guys came out on top. You guys made the plays, hit the big shots against Siena, coming away with a 3-point victory. Against Marist, losing at halftime, coming away with a 4-point victory up there. Both matchups against the Manhattan Jaspers in the last few weeks of the season, you guys came away with a 3-point win down there and a 4-point win at home. Dave, how important is it to have so many close games and yet show that you can come back time and time again? Let me not forget about Monmouth, where you were down 14 at halftime, came back and won the game.
I mean, it's very important. It gives guys, the courage when they're down. If we get down in the tournament, to know, hey, we can overcome this. You know what I mean? Like, we can still win this thing. Like, you're never out of a game. So in that regards, it does a ton for our team, playing in these close games, and you can't ask for anything else. It just shows you how being a possession or 2 better can go a long way. You know what I mean? We were talking about the team from 2 years ago who we actually won the MAAC tournament. Just being a possession or 2 better can make your team that much better. Sometimes it's about those 1 or 2 possessions, making the right play, playing as hard as you possibly can, to come out on top and not lose those games. So it's just great that we've been battle tested already, and we're going to, go up there with confidence throughout an entire game, no matter what's going on.
Certainly, you guys have been battle-tested throughout this season, playing 12 conference games without Isaiah Williams, one of the top players on the team, going 11-1 in that stretch. Now you've had him back for 2 games, and he's started to gel in the lineup again. What added dimension does he present to this lineup?
I mean, He is our energy guy. And you know, when you speak of energy guy, you usually think like the garbage guy who cleans up. No, he's so much more than that. He shoots over 45% from three. You know, he goes and chases every shot attempt around the basket. He's trying to chase down block. He's at the top of the zone. He's at the top of the press. He's in the back of the press. He's on the wing. We can put him anywhere in our offense or defense, and he produces. You know, and he gives us that spark. He just gives us that spark. He's going to make a big play. He's going to get you that extra possession. He does all the little things, you know, that helps a team win a championship. So without him, man, I don't know how we would be able to do it, but I'm glad he's back. And we were just trying to, you know, hold down the fort until he returned. And I think guys did a great job of doing that, stepping in. Cedric stepping up, Kelvin stepping up, Bebis stepping up, Jelani stepping up. Everybody not trying to say, hey, I'm the man. I'm gonna take Isaiah's spot. No, but everybody, piece to piece, collectively, you know, filling that void.
Dave, you mentioned how Isaiah, you know, can play at any position, front of the press, back of the press. You put him anywhere on the floor and he'll produce. And I think that's one of the biggest advantages that this team has, is that I think really any player on this team can play any position on any given night. And that depth and the ability to have interchangeable parts, how important is it, and how does that make you so tough to both defend and score on?
I mean, you got to think of it like this. Our point guard, AJ English, can play the 1, 2, or 3 in our offense, or even sometimes the 4. He can in our offense. Outside of, I would say, Cedric, just because of, you know, height and physical stature, is the only reason that he wouldn't be able to be interchangeable. But AJ, Isaiah, myself, Kelvin, just guys who can play multiple spots on the floor, you know, and it just helps you. It's so hard to defend when a guy can shoot, post, dribble, or pass, you know, and 4 guys doing that on the floor at once is very hard to stop. And then you add in the fact that, you know, our shooters are shooting over 40% from 3. It's like, it's just a lot to ask for out of a team defensively to stop. As long as we run our things correctly and listen to coach and do everything that we're supposed to do, we should be fine.
Well, the two big guns on the offense, both yourself and AJ English, together combining for 40 points a game, both all MAAC first team selections, finalists for the MAAC Player of the Year award. Having the two of you spearheading this offense that always ranks in the top 10 in the nation, you know, Coach Klus stresses score, score, score. And with the dynamic duo of yourself and AJ, you know, why are opposing defenses so challenged by the matchup problems that you guys present?
I mean, because we score in different ways. You know, I'm usually scoring driving by my big from the my defender from the perimeter, which is 60 to 70% of the time a big, and or catch and shoot threes, you know, or posting up. And AJ usually scores from catch and shoot threes, off the dribble threes, or driving by his man. So it's like, it's just the fact that we can score from inside and out. You know what I mean? That presents a problem. And then both of us are very good at coming off of ball screens and finding an open guy or taking the ball to the basket ourselves. So we just present a lot of matchup problems, you know, being able to score in different ways and then being able to pass the ball too. That's a key. You got to be able to make the extra pass when you're being doubled and things like that. And we seem to do that, you know, pretty well. We have to get a lot better at it going into the MAAC tournament, because teams do look to double every time that myself touch the ball or AJ English touches the ball. And we got to get better at that. And guys have to understand that it doesn't matter. It's not going to matter who scores the most points. It's who wins the championship. So guys got to be ready to step up and make shots when we and AJ are being doubled. And don't be afraid to take some shots. You know what I mean? Good shots. And believing in themselves, because we believe in them. So that's going to be another big thing. But me and AJ leading the offense is it's just a lot to ask for opposing team and to stop opposing coach to game plan for.
Dave, your offense seemed to have a little bit of a stall in the regular season finale at St. Peter's, dropping that game 68-60, and you could look at that game as maybe a little bit of a wake up call that you guys were riding high, an 11-game winning streak, and then you go in there right before the MAAC tournament. Do you guys see that was a way to alert yourselves that, hey, we have to pick it up for the MAAC tournament?
I think that we've been feeling that way for the past couple of weeks, but I'm never a fan of losing a game. The only way that I can change that statement is, if we win the MAAC tournament, then I could say, okay, that really woke our guys up. But I'm never a fan of losing a game. I don't think we should ever come into a game, oh, maybe it's okay if we lost this game, or it's all right that we lost this game because it's before the tournament. Yeah, you rather it now before the tournament, but it's not all right to lose a game, like, ever, basically. Coach Clues does a great job of trying to instill in us the just to be a competitor, to have pride in then the uniform that you're wearing in Iona and all the tradition that took place before you. So losing is never something that I would be like, okay, it was a great wake-up call, unless we win the championship, and then you can actually say that. Like, okay, we needed this. We were on an 11-game win streak. We were being lackadaisical and things like that, and boom, we got hit in the mouth. We lost, and it got us refocused, and we went and won a MAAC championship. That's the only way that I could say, that was a good loss.
Now, moving ahead, you guys being the number one seed, you have a bye in the first round, face the winner of the 8-9 game in the quarterfinals. Let's say you win that game and then you move ahead and you could see Monmouth in the semifinals, the team that beat you earlier in the season and really almost had you beat here. That team really has come up and been a surprise team of this season, I would say. And, the job that Coach King Rice has done there, and, they're really on the way up. And do you see that, they could, since they're young and fresh and really kind of new to the party, do you think that, they could really pose a major threat to you?
I think that they're a great team, and they have a great coach and Coach King Rice, and with Justin Robinson running the show, and they got Biggs. I think they're a great challenger. They're a great team. So I definitely see them. Playing well in the tournament.
Now you guys know what they're capable of, losing down there and almost getting beat up here. It's certainly, you're not going to overlook them, and whereas the other two teams in the top four with you guys are Ryder and Manhattan, and the two of them, you guys held two victories over each of them. And Dave, if you let's say do advance to the championship Monday night, you likely might be facing one of those teams. Holding two victories in the regular season over each of them, are you gonna, there's the saying, it's tough to beat a team 3 times, and how do you see that you're going to be able to come out and pick up that third victory for a MAAC championship?
I mean, I don't really believe in that saying so much. It's hard to beat a team 3 times. If the team is a good team, then they're a good team, and we're a good team. Both of those teams are great teams this year. They've been playing well in conference, and both of those games could have very well went either way. So we do understand that both of those teams had a chance to beat us. But as far as falling into the hoopla of you can't beat a team 3 times, we played Ryder 2 times last year. And we played them first round. It was like we played them the last game of the season, and then played them in the first round, and we beat them all 3 times last year. I don't think that it should matter about how many times you beat them before. You just go out and play your game, and they play their games, and the chips will fall where they may. And but I don't think that you should believe in that type of stuff. You go out to try to win every basketball game.
Now, Dave, as a senior, the number of basketball games that you have left in your college career are dwindling and slowly getting less and less. And, with this being your final shot at a MAAC championship, what is your mindset entering this weekend?
I'm just trying to stay as focused as possible, and focus on the job that we have to do as a whole. Not even so much as the job that I have to do. I have to just go out there and play how I've been playing all year. You know what I mean? Playing aggressive and things like that, and try to lead my team and make sure everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, so we can be the best team possible. As far that's all I can speak on my mindset. I know that my college games are coming to an end, so I just want to make it special and get back to the NCAA tournament, because it's the greatest feeling that a basketball player could ever have in his life, outside of probably getting drafted or winning an NBA title, because I haven't done either of those things. But as far as the collegiate level is concerned, making it to the NCAA tournament, man, winning it is probably the greatest, but making it is a feeling that you really can't describe.
Well, Dave, your path to another NCAA tournament right around the corner with the MAAC tournament coming up this weekend. Thank you for your insight into what is it going to be like being the number 1 seed, entering the MAAC tournament, and looking to get back to the NCAA tournament.
No problem, man.